I would like to take a minute and talk about the T494 and T574 hydraulic valve cover. We've had some issues with this part in the past. TYM changed how they set up the hydraulic lines coming out of the valve. So they used to come out like pictured in this photo here, with the fittings coming out and then turning 90 degrees and then going up into the loader. So they changed that, in my opinion, to a better option, which is fittings coming straight out of the front of the valve. Then your hoses aren't kicked out to the side and exposed to the elements. So they changed that to fittings coming straight out, and we developed a new cover for the fittings that were coming straight out. So that was taken care of. So we had the old cover and the new cover. And then we were running into issues with customers that had their dealer put the WR long third function on instead of the OEM TYM third function. So our cover was designed to be compatible with the OEM third function. We ran into issues with the WR long third function, like you can see in this photo here, where the WR long third function's that valve right there on the side, kind of in between the step, and that valve sticks out and interferes with our cover. So we've modified our cover, and I just kind of want to bring up the 3D model just so I have something to put on the website and kind of show you. When I get the time, I'll get into the studio and I'll get all of these parts in hand, and I'll actually physically show you all of the parts and configurations. But if we jump over here and take a look at this screen, so I've got the model of this pulled up. Now, this is very similar to how it was. So we've always had a kind of a side cover here. The cover on the bottom basically is unchanged. We've added these drainage holes here in the bottom. On the side cover, we've removed the hexagon grate to give more protection, and then we just have our ITC logo down here in the bottom. On the back, nothing's been changed. The back cover is still the same as it was. And then the major changes are going to be right here where this opening is on the side cover, as well as the front. You see this opening is a lot bigger. Now, the standard configuration is going to come with this flat block-off plate. Now, this is it's in red for illustration purposes, but it will come in black. So this is going to be the standard configuration. So if you have an OEM third function or no third function, this is the cover that you want with just the block-off plate. If you have the WR long third function, we're going to have that option, and we're going to be sending this box. So this box will then bolt onto the side, and that'll allow clearance to fit around that WR long third function valve. On the front, we have two ways to set this up. We can either set it up with hoses coming out of the front, and we're going to supply one of these block-off plates. So it'll cover the hole when you're setting it up for your tractor and your hydraulics. So that block-off plate can either go on the front or the side. I've got it modeled twice here. It's the same part, it's just flipped over and it's slid down just a little bit. So this bolt and this bolt over here don't interfere with each other. You see how it sits up a little bit higher on this? I can change how this is positioned. So it sits a little bit higher because there's a bolt hole behind there. So this bolt will still get used, and then if your fittings come straight out, you're going to add the block-off plate right here. If the fittings come out the side, you're going to add the block-off plate on the front with the same bolt hole that you put the front cover on with. So the procedure for assembling this is going to be assembling everything but this cover here. So this one will get bolted on, I would say probably first. So you'll see where this hole right here mounts. So you'll get this bolt started. Then you'll put the rest of the cover on, and that will allow you to put the cover on around your hoses. And then once you get it in place, you can get your 3 bolts in the top. The bottom and the back can already be all assembled before you go to install it on the tractor. So you'll pre-assemble this outer piece, the bottom, and the back. And then you'll install this and install this separately, and then bolt them together with these 3 bolts here. At that point, you'll also be adding the block-off plate on whatever side you need it to be on. So I just wanted to run through this so you kind of know how to set up your cover depending on your tractor. You know, right now in its current state, this cover is set up for a 494 or 574 with a WR long third function with hoses that come out the side of the valve or they come out of the valve. They come out of the valve straight, but then they've got 90-degree fittings on them, and then they turn to the side. And then if we were to swap this, it would now be set up for the same tractor with a WR long third function and hoses that come out the front. But like I said, standard, it's going to come with just a flat block-off plate. Now, if you add a third function later on, you can add this WR long cover later on. So you don't need to worry about buying it with your future intentions totally set. So you can buy it, configure it how it's going to work best for your tractor, and then go ahead and add that cover if you do need to add that cover later on. So just a quick little video. I'm going to have this linked in the description of the product so it can be viewed and you can kind of check it out and see what you're going to be getting. But this is that cover. If you have any questions, you can send me an email at jake@itcquickattach.com or call me at 315-335-5421. Thanks.